I'm not happy because, number one, I don't want to live in Malaysia. I don't want to live in America. I don't want to live in Europe. I want to live in Nepal. I want to live in North India. Maybe border of Tibet. Not Tibet exactly, but the border. I want to be in the mountains. I don't feel these places are my home. It's very, very hard to explain. It's more than a longing. It's like you were adopted and you were taken away from, I don't know, Hungary. And you have all these imprints of Hungary. So wherever they take you, those imprints didn't fulfill its purpose yet. It didn't open up. It didn't flower. It didn't blossom. So those imprints are still there. So everywhere you look, you compare it to Hungary. Although every place else is just as beautiful, you know?
So do you think that has something to do with past lives where there's yearnings that are purpling up because of that?
Okay. It's funny you say that because when I was growing up, I never thought it was past lives. I accept past lives, but it was just too grandiose for me, like somebody like me. When you eliminate the other possibilities, you're left with just that. So when you're left with just that, you have to kind of embrace that and say that must be it, because you've eliminated everything else. I mean, in my lifetime, I haven't been to these places. That time when I was a child, I mean, when you're 7 or 8 and you want to wear this, and you want to chant, and you want to pray, and you memorize the prayers so easily, you feel familiar, you feel happy. When you see the Buddhas, you recognize them. And you're looking for them, and they're the only thing that makes you happy. I don't know how else to explain it. And the funny part is, I felt familiar. It felt home. If I went to a party with my parents, they'd be drinking and they'd be singing and merrymaking. I'd be in total hell. I'd be wishing it's over. I hated it. What I hate the most is weddings. I hated weddings. Because I saw my parents, they're unhappy. I saw our neighbors, they're unhappy. I saw everybody, they're unhappy. And then they say, oh, if you get married, you'll be happy. And I'm like, but you're all unhappy. I don't understand why, but you'll be different. I said, but none of you are different. I mean, the neighbors across the street were there. Oh my God, they were so unhappy. The father actually went crazy over jealousy because of the mom. Our neighbors down the street, behind us, and everybody's so unhappy who got married, who had relationships. And I saw this over and over and over and over. And I hated weddings because weddings to me was a doorway to unhappiness. It wasn't something I was taught, you have to understand. It's something I observed as a child. And so, and then people who are happy, it's a facade. There's just so many things that are underlying. And they're just comfortable with it because they don't want to make another choice. They're afraid of another choice. So they don't make another choice, so they just say, I'm happy.
But maybe the ultimate goal is wrong. The ultimate goal shouldn't be to be happy. I mean, it could be to be of service.
Well, that's the thing. You see, the ultimate goal, I feel, should be happiness, but we have to do the correct thing to achieve that. For example, if you serve, you become happy.
Right. In other words, you can't lift a board you're standing on.
Correct.
So,
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So therefore...
You can't lift the board you're standing on. That's very powerful. Now, I'm not suicidal or I need drugs or alcohol to numb the pain, but I certainly would not pick this. And if I got the okay and the green light to retire, oh my God, I would write the letter tonight. And that would not cut off my relationship with anyone. That would not change my relationship with anyone. That would not change anything between me and anyone, because the relationship you forge with people has nothing to do with your position. It's nothing to do with what you were doing or not doing. For example, if we're working together and you're not working with me anymore, you go somewhere else, we can be friends for the rest of our lives. Right. You not working here or I'm not working with you has nothing, it's not personal. Right. You know what I mean? Yes. So for me, it's why can't we just be friends? Right. It doesn't make a difference. So whatever friends and however grateful I am to some people, whatever relationship I've had with some people, that would never change. From the mountains, I'd send, a message in a bottle. I would. And my gratefulness to certain people, appreciation and friendship, that would never change. And that has nothing to do with this. It's just when you want to do something else and everything else looks redundant. If you told me, go to college now, go finish, get a PhD, and then go work and get this great job, I would rather kill myself.
But the world has changed since you made that promise. And maybe that promise wouldn't have been asked of you if the world had been then what it is now.
True. I mean, we can find all kinds of ways to get out of it, but
you feel like you can.
Well, I don't feel I can. I feel what I promised is kind of timeless. For example, if I say I'm never going to lie, I don't think that the situation has changed that I have to lie. I think that if I make a promise I'm not going to lie, I'm not going to lie.
Right.
There are some promises you make that are timeless. If I made a promise, you said, I'm going to take care of grandma, and I'm going to serve her and take care of her and wash her and clean her until the very end. And I'm going to be totally vigilant. Until grandma passes on, I'm going to keep that promise. But after she's passed on, I'm not going to hang out in her house taking care of her wheelchair. Those are promises that you move on.
Right.
But so I'm not hanging on to a promise that is situational. It is timeless. And so my sense of duty, my sense of honor of when you say you're going to do it, you do it. You don't need an agreement. You don't need to sign in blood. You just do it. Because if you live your life in that kind of way, you make people around you less unhappy. Because if you keep jumping back, you're moody, you keep jumping back and forth, you want to leave, you want to stay, you're not happy, you're unhappy, and then you don't do your work well because of that. You make people unhappy. When you make people unhappy around you, who else is left? Who else is left, And then you just take that attitude with you wherever you go. So for me, it's not a matter of discipline. It's not a matter of honor, although I said that. It's very simple. When you promise, you do it. Or don't promise. Just do it.
Right.
Stop making excuses to lose. Stop making excuses to fail. So whatever I do here, I do with an attitude of, I'm going to win. I'm going to make it. I'm going to achieve it. Because how I feel about a certain situation, I don't make it personal. So if you and I have made an agreement to make the best handphone in the world, I may hate my job, but I don't hate you. And I don't hate the promise I made to you. And so to fulfill what I want to do and to disappoint you so deeply and go off and do what I want, how can I take that guilt with me? How can I live with myself knowing what I've done to you? And then meet a whole group of new people and drink tea and go out, I'm such a good person, you're such a good person, I'm so happy. It's just so fake. Yeah. It's so fake knowing what you did to those people, how you disappointed them, how your actions, your behavior, your moodiness, your up and down, your anger, how you hurt this group of people, and a whole new group of people, you're all fake, and you're Emmy award winning actor. Right. I couldn't do that. I could not. It's not that I'm so moral, ethical. The guilt would be too much. Knowing what I really am.